Hey guys, what's going on? It's Max here, and I want to take a minute to talk about the NBA Finals, and more specifically, the Denver Nuggets. It'd be crazy to not start off by talking about Jokic and Murray. This duo is absolutely unbelievable on the offensive side of things, and still can get the job done on defense. These guys are absolutely crazy, and Steve Kerr said it best. I mean, Jokic isn't even the head of the snake, it's Jamal Murray, because if you take this playoff series back to, for example, the Cavaliers, the game plan was let LeBron score, stop everybody else. The problem is, if you let Jokic score, Murray's also going to have a flurry of offense that you have to worry about. Jamal Murray, when Jokic is going crazy, is unbelievable because when they run that pick and roll that the two have, the pick and pop also becomes quite a hell of a play between the two. Jokic is such a threat to shoot the ball, and he can shoot it from mid-range, three-point line, 10 feet. The guy is crazy with his shot, still being 7 foot tall. The problem with that is the defense has to respect Jokic so much that they don't put all the priority on Jamal Murray, and that leaves Jamal Murray to get open 90% of the time. In that pick and roll scenario, 90% of the time, the defense has to react and start double teaming Jokic, which is another reason why this team can thrive so well. Jokic is passing. Now, that's probably Jokic's most unique ability about his game. He's 7 foot, he's a big guy, but he can also pass the ball like no other big man we've seen. The guy has eyes in the back of his head, if we're just being quite frank. So when they double team him coming off the pick and roll, he's able to flick, make no-look passes, and get the open teammate the ball, whether that's Murray, whether that's somebody out in the wing, whether it's MPJ. He can get that pass out there, and in the blink of an eye, you don't expect it. Bam, the Nuggets have it a shot, and they're up. Like I was just mentioning with the team getting wide-open shots based on the passing from Jokic, you have to give the rest of this team a lot of credit. I mean, number one, Aaron Gordon, he's been the unsung hero of this Denver Nuggets run. He's been playing defense out of his mind this entire playoff run, and I don't think he's been getting enough credit for that. You also mentioned people like MPJ. Even though he doesn't pass, he's able to hit shots when the Denver Nuggets need it. Whenever they need an Energizer Bunny, MPJ can be that. And then also, the defensive side of things, Bruce Brown has been playing absolutely unbelievable. I watched even the game too. He hits threes when they're needed, whenever they're desperate. He's not a great three-point shooter by any means, but he can get open and he can hit one when you need one. So to sum it up, why are the Nuggets so good? Well, the biggest reason is playmaking. The passing on this team is some of the best we have ever seen, except MPJ, obviously. But the two-man offense is killer on this team. Jokic and Murray are a force to be messed with. Both are elite playmakers as well. The pick and roll between the two is crazy. When Jokic sets up, his pop is a threat enough for Murray to get bucket most of the time. The other threat is Jokic has the ball and will hit the open man. Like I mentioned earlier with his passing, it's unbelievable. He has eyes in the back of his head and can hit anybody that's open. I mean, Jokic has one of the highest IQs in the whole of the NBA. LeBron has even come out and said that. So when LeBron says that you're on the same level of playmaking IQ in the game as him, you've done something right. You have to give also some credit to the rest of the team. For example, Aaron Gordon, like I mentioned earlier, has been playing defense out of his mind during this run. KCP has been playing really well in the 3-and-D, hitting shots when needed. MPJ has been the energized bunny on offense and does not get enough credit for that. Bruce Brown, like I mentioned, great defensive guy to have on your team, somebody that you want in your corner. And this team proved something this year. It proved that super teams aren't the way to win games all the time. You have super teams that will get you through the regular season, but come postseason time, it might not get you the whole way. I mean, for example, everybody picked the Phoenix Suns to beat the Denver Nuggets just based on star power alone. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant. They said, oh, that's too much star power. How are the Nuggets going to stop that? The question they should have been asking is, how are the Suns going to stop the Nuggets' amazing offense? So, a big thing about this Denver Nuggets team is depth. This team is showing that depth still matters in the NBA, which people have been arguing about for the past couple years based on if star power can pull you further enough or you need depth. And the Denver Nuggets proved that this year. So in the end of all this, the Denver Nuggets are one of the biggest benches I've ever seen in the NBA, combined with somebody that knows how to get the bench involved in Jokic. Like I mentioned earlier, and I will not stop mentioning, his playmaking gets everybody on this team involved, which makes for a productive roster, which brings everybody's best out. And then also Murray, excellent playmaker, not in Jokic's level, let's be honest for a second, but still an excellent playmaker and somebody that we have to give a lot of credit to for being, I would call him the Robin to this team, but it's almost like two Batmans when you're facing them now in the playoffs. So that's been it from me at Mama's Legacy. I know I retired it, but I guess when I still do the sports podcast, I'm kind of unretiring it. But it's great to be back, and I'm going to try and be a bit more consistent with these uploads. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.